guest today is my homie. You feel me? I've been knowing him for years, way back, almost 20 years. You feel me? It's my day one, but he got something to share with y'all, man. And I feel like I need to as well. And it's more important that things that y'all might really need to know about what's going on in your community and your culture. That's why I speak on about, it's how important that you got to, find yourself and be able to understand what's going on around you about people, interacting with people. Knowing your culture, man, it's important. You feel me? So I want to bring to you live. I call him JD, but he has another name that he goes by. And I'm gonna let my man introduce himself to you and what else he got going on. But my man,
what's going on, world? You know what I'm saying? This priest 500, Demakia, Banya Habla Banya Strada out of the Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We bring the culture back, which is biblical according to the Bible. And we've been established in 1969 on the Commander Junior High in Harlem, New York. That's a home of the truth. Right here to the right of me. No, it's 12 because we're on our own and then he on his own. All right, yeah. Right here to the right, I got another priest of 500 with me, small one. But if you want to be on camera,
yeah, cool. I think I'm gonna come over here just because so it's just how this thing is looking.
Yeah, I got to excuse the setup, so I got my phone kind of sitting out, but it should pick up everything, man. And hopefully y'all should be able to hear what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ask a couple of questions, and and I let them answer from there. You dig?
Then too, if I could play one of my brother's songs after he introduces himself.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's usually how we do our little intro. Fox class, stuff like that.
Yeah, just let y'all know, man. It's a privilege and an honor to have y'all here, man. So, I appreciate you.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? We just bring back the 12 tribes and our identity and unsealing all the mysteries of the Bible. So, if y'all ever in tune, we on Facebook too. You feel me? ISUPK Austin page. But yeah, without further ado.
All right. Shalom, everybody. I'm also a 500 Shamarwan with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under the Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We bring them back to their culture. We bring them back to a true nation that we really are under the Bible. And we use the Bible because the Bible is our records, all right? That's our records. And we need to come back to the Bible, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments so we can get our people out of these conditions that we are in. We are in these conditions that we are in because we don't have any law. Okay?
All right, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and play this little jam. You feel me? Let the priest in the building. You can find this on YouTube too. Priest in the building, also 500 small one.
It's 1 West, 1 2 5th. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building. This is 1 West, 1 2 5th. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. Beers, braids, and boots, even though I got a bald head, long nose. Pistol, I feel that bitch with bald heads all frank. Tissue pulling out that boy's head. Shit's chopped, looking like a bulls at a street fight, 2 hands faster than the Honda. You don't want no problems, roll up on you like Blanca. 1 West, that's the mantra. Red headband with a spray gun like Contra. Check your attitude, the gear stretch, longitude, the latitude. Come on. I'm a priest, bitch, so some fucking gratitude. Could tell I'm 1 West by the way I walk, way I talk. 125th straight New York. Ballin', nigga. And I'ma rep it to the death of me. I die for the guy on the right or the left of me. You turn into beast mode, I turn into priest mode. Get the knocking niggas out like Craig for thinking they default. It's 1 West, 1 2 5th. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building. This is 1 West, 1 2 5th. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, in the building. They let the priests in the building, niggas. Hardcore, men at war. I just follow Captain Yachty, with him I go. I might lose my shit for him, I blow and get to picking niggas off through that one-eye scope. We got a garment down to the foot, girdle around the paps, not a scuff on the boot. Yeah, you niggas try and look tough and look cute while we rock rough and stuff until you're stuffing loose. Been held back too long, now we busting loose, breaking down the barriers, this destructive truth. I was talking to a dumb nigga rhyme and he said we the Israelites, that's no denying. I said yeah, but you ain't in compliance. You trying to be Kyrie, I'm trying to be General Muhammad. That's right. It make me want to break a nigga's spine and do what a doc ain't even fucking realign him. I get a nigga to get a nigga on consignment. It's 1 West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. They let the priests in the building. They let the priests in the building. This is 1 West, 125th. They let the priests in the building. They let the priests in the building. They let the priests in the building, nigga. This the truth, this the home. Home of the truth. Niggas ain't gotta roam. Yeah. But niggas ain't gotta die alone. Put a nigga on both sides, you ain't gotta die alone. Be like, that nigga deader than a motherfucker. I brought my sword back wetter than a motherfucker. Fuck the turtles. I'm shredded like a motherfucker in this gym trying to get shredded like a motherfucker. The loose can and the firebomb, everything on this gun custom like a Diawana, call it one Yala, the Poir, Rasan, the Mafia, Yahaja, Malakati, Yaganan. Let's go! They let the priests in the building, niggas waking up on people. Even when we chillin', nigga, fuck them fake camps, better get with the realer niggas. For Christ come back and say, kill them niggas!
Already, man. That was good, man. Already.
So, hold on, let me get mine. Can we get the intro?
Yeah.
All right, clap it up. Shalom, Israel, with Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commander General Yohana. All right? This is Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the weapon we're going to use to get ourselves out of these conditions. Okay? So we're going to jump right into it. And we have a brother here. What's your name again, brother?
Flexington. Michael Flexington.
Michael Flexington. He's here with us, joining us in the class. Yeah. You got a couple questions. He's currently live on his podcast. So we're gonna give this brother the respect. And let him ask the questions he want and kind of flow, and we'll go from there.
And for those who tuning in to my cast, if y'all have any questions as well, feel free to join. Ask some questions if y'all hear something that caught interest. All right.
Yeah, we got the comments right here for the YouTube and Facebook. Man.
Right on. You feel me? But I know a lot of people want to understand. First question based off you explain who you guys are. So can y'all elaborate more what y'all based on? Because people want to know, are y'all religious or a cult?
Okay, yeah. So we're not a cult and we're not a religion. Mm-hmm. What we are is a people. Okay, just like, all right. Let's get Matthew 1 and 21. All right, we are a people. We are a nation. So you can't. The reason this ain't a religion is because anybody can't just join. Right. You have to be of that people. If you are not of that people, then you cannot come up in here. This nation is actually Salakia, Deuteronomy 7:6. I'll get that later. But yeah, we have to come back and understand who we are, because we were taught that we were Africans, right? We were brought over here from Africa. But what we don't know is that in 70 AD, 1 million Israelites fled into Africa. Those were those people who were sold over here. They knew the people they have. They like to make it seem like they were just out there capturing people. But it wasn't that. It was way more strategic. It was, they go into things with strategy. They don't just go do random things. Okay? Can you get that to Maki?
Yeah. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. Mm-hmm. And 2, if I could add.
Go ahead.
Like, we subscribe to the King James Version, 1611. Like, anything outside of that is where you got the oppressor giving a Greek mythology and adding to the Bible and stuff like that.
Right.
And another reason why we don't call ourselves as a cult, because cult is just a short word for culture, and the Bible is all about culture and stuff like that. But yeah, like you were saying about religion too, like everybody can't get in.
Right. So how do you can be able to get in? How can you tell those who's qualified to get in?
Just right here, read that.
Yeah, it's through the bloodline.
Yeah, read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Yep.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Okay, so these people right here that the Lord chosen, he chosen us to be a special people to himself, right? Continue.
A special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See, we're supposed to be above all people, not next to. So this nation that he chose, you have to be a part of that nation. And who is a part of this nation is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. These are the ones that fit these curses, that fit everything that's going on in the scriptures. Go ahead, you can go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I'm listening. I mean, basically, I be listening to my brother all the time. You know, when he be speaking about the Bible, and and I be agreeing with him. You know what I'm saying? What he says about what he had proven to me. You know what I'm saying? And me basically knowing that the lifestyle I live, you know what I'm saying, is pretty difficult, and try to tie in what I know coming up as being a Christian and knowing what my homie knows, it's kind of different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you determine which religion is the truth or not? You know what I'm saying?
Christianity, first thing they tell you is what? That the laws are done away with, right?
Right.
They tell you that the laws are done away with and you don't have to follow them no more, right? Because you're saved by grace. Well, they give you a grace period on your car payment. They give it on your electric bill. They give it on your phone bill. If you don't pay it, it's getting cut off, right? So they believe you don't have to. Let me get 1 John 3 and 4. They believe you don't have to follow the law. But I'm gonna just show you. But they like to call people sinners, right?
Right.
But you can't have sin without the law, and that's what I want to show you. This is how you know, because you have to judge everything according to the scriptures, right? And that's how you're going to find the truth. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgressed also the law. For sin is a transgression of the law.
Now give me Hosea 4 and 6. All right, so it says that sin is a transgression of the law. So if there is no law, there is no sin. And I came up in the Christian church as well, and I felt like I didn't have no rules because Jesus always forgave me. That's how I was able to sell a QP every Sunday on my way to church. That's how I was able to hop in and blow all the way home from church, because God forgives.
Right.
But because we don't follow these laws, these are the conditions that we are in. And the brother's going to get that right here.
All right. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people.
My what?
My people.
You see, that's possessive. The Lord has a chosen people. You see, we have been taught through Christianity that God loves everybody, that Christ died for everybody. But it lets you know in the Bible, the Lord has a specific people. That's why Deuteronomy 7 and 6 said a particular people. Christ said he came to save a particular people, right? Continue on.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
You see, we rejected knowledge. And this knowledge that we reject of God is his laws. That's the knowledge that we reject. And since we rejected those, continue. He said he will also reject us. Continue.
I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
That's why we don't know about this truth. Because we forgot the laws of God. So as children, we have been forgotten. That's why we're coming up in the ghetto. That's why we're coming up on drugs. That's why we out here gangbanging. That's why we're doing all of these things. That's why we're in poverty. That's why we're in Christianity, because we've forgotten the laws of our God. But the Bible tells you, if you forget the laws of God, then you will be forgotten. You will be rejected, and your children will be forgotten.
If I could add to
Go ahead.
And what's so heavy about the situation that the Most High is saying is like the title too, like the entitlement mentality. if we forget God's law, then we forget where we came from, and we adapt to something that's dangerous for us as a culture and as a nation, and they're able to control us the way that they want to control us, and we outside of God's protection. So God, as a father, always wanted us to be protected by Him instead of outsiders. You feel me? Even though, you know, you can say God created everybody, but God has a favorite person. He has a favorite bird, a favorite color, a favorite insect. That's why you see us burning this frankincense and myrrh right here.
Right.
You know, and what's it called again?
That's called a
I forgot.
I don't know why I can't remember it off the top. Slovakia.
That's what we burn in incense. You know what I mean? We can get to you with the breakdown of that later.
Yeah, I'll get it.
If you could type in the chat too, if y'all remember what these are. Then we burn the coals and this. Chat sound.
Yeah, but remember when he said to grab your? I can't remember. I don't want to say it and get it wrong.
Nah,
I don't want to steer the people wrong.
For sure. Oh, we got it in the chat right here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Sensor.
A sensor. Slovakia.
That's what I kept right there.
So y'all saying that Jesus is real in a sense?
Well, yeah, but even outside the Bible, they got records of Christ being real. That's why in certain books they wrote when it was a darkness over when it's stuff. They talked about a man out there doing miracles, right? Even in Russia, I think something in a museum they got something of Christ that was on him.
Right.
So there is a lot of proof of that. But so what is your feeling on that?
I mean, me basically, I know where I came from, you know, but as far as all I know is Jesus done risen from the dead for our sins, you know, as far as I've been taught. And I mean, I believe, do y'all believe that y'all the real
Jews? Or
I don't want to say Jews because y'all not Jews.
Well, I mean, because Jew is just one of the tribes. Right? There's 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
So Jew is just one tribe. He would be from the tribe of Judah.
Okay.
Most likely you would be from the tribe of Judah. I'm from the tribe of Ephraim.
Okay.
So
I don't know. We can get this on the picture.
Yeah. So through the Bible, it lets you know where people would be, what would happen, and how you would be able to identify these people. So we do believe that.
You said it was 12 nations, right?
12 tribes. We're really one nation, but it's 12 tribes.
What's the 12 tribes? Most people probably want to know because, I mean.
You get them all, Demakia?
Yeah, I got you. And if I could add too, right?
Yeah, go ahead and add to Genesis.
A lot of people don't believe that Christ came from a mother and father. Mm-hmm. Just like they don't believe Adam and Eve came from a mother and father. Mm-hmm. And that's why the demigod came. And now they feel that they're entitled because they come up with their own story outside of the Bible. Mm-hmm. But in the ISUPK, we strictly are about the Bible. Like we love what God loves and hate what God hates. And something that our oppressors always do is take the black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man out of the household. And that's something that they did to Christ's father. Mm-hmm. So what we finna show you here is all of our forefathers in the tribes where they came from. So we got the tribe of Judah, which are the Negroes. We got the tribe of Benjamin, which are the West Indians. We got the tribe of Levi, which are the so-called Haitians today. The tribe of Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans. We got the tribe of Zebulon, which we can see today that goes from Guatemala to Panama. Then we got Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, and all of this is just on this side of the world. And then we got the tribe of Manasseh, which are the so-called Cubans, tribe of Gad, which is so-called Native Indians, tribe of Reuben, the so-called Simeon Indians, which you can find by Florida and stuff like that. And we got the tribe of Asher, the Colombian to, how you say that? Uruguay?
Yep, Uruguay.
And then you got the tribe of Nepatali, Argentina to Chile, and then the tribe of Issachar, which were the so-called Mexicans like the Mayans and Aztecs, stuff like that.
Yeah, and if I could, I'd like to break some of that down to you. So I won't do the whole 12 tribe chart, but I will. All right. So Yeah,
If y'all
show
can
them
see
that.
If y'all can see that, I'm gonna try to clear that up. You know what I'm saying?
And then give me
And this is the Hebrew language that we speak.
Yeah.
too.
Right. Also, y'all have your own languages, right? Y'all have your own
yes, we have the language. We don't do the Yiddish, all right? Because we got to know that this language, it wasn't based on vowels, right? So those things were added in later. This was a language based on consonants, like constant, however you say that word, all right? So that Yiddish that they speak in, that's not the true language. What they did, like they did with everything of ours, is they bastardize it. They do that with other nations. They steal from them and they bastardize it. And that's what happened. And that's why you have the Yiddish, which is a false language. They don't do nothing, according to the Bible, over in that land, right? They don't do nothing. But I do kind of want to break down a little bit of that 12 tribe, because you asked about that and like how do we kind of know and all that. Let me get Genesis 49 and 3.
And then before we get that, this is the alphabet. The Lashon Kodash, which in Hebrew, Kodash is holy, and Lashon is tongue. So we always read from right to left. But when you see the bastardized nations that took over us, they want to switch everything over. Now they feel entitled that no, we're supposed to read from left to right. So we always come back into the ancient Paleo Hebrew to depict the context of what the word actually means, because it was translated from Greek to Hebrew.
Yeah, you have to come to a Sabbath service and see. You'll see like that in complete action.
Sabbath service. We got Lashon Kodash class.
That as well.
49
Genesis 49 and 3.
49 and 3.
So this is Reuben. Reuben was the firstborn, right? So this is what Jacob, he's telling his sons what's going to happen in the future, where they're going to be, how they will be identified. Go ahead.
So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the intelligence of dignity, and the intelligence of power.
Yes, all right. So Reuben, that was the Seminole Indians, right? They were scattered all through Florida. They carried themselves with that royal dignity, and they refused to give in to oppressors, right? They had to get tricked into signing, treaties, but they were not like some of the others, because they refused to own like black slaves. Continue reading.
I'm gonna switch to the other one. Verse 4: Unstable as water shall not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defiled thou it. He went up to my couch.
You see, because he slept with his father's wife, right? So we know that's why it says unstable as water. They traveled, they weren't stationary because of oppression. There's this book called The Black Indians on page 62. From 1829 to 1837, Andrew Jackson was one of the key persons to subdue those Seminoles. So there's a bunch of records outside of the Bible that, and everybody knows. That's why people quote that. The prime minister of Egypt, he says there will never be peace over there because they left black and came back white. Like there's people all through history that know. We don't know this because this is hidden from us. And that's why we need, and it's hidden from us through all these vain philosophies and deceit and traditions of men. That's what we are really following, because we follow what's that, the New Year's, then Valentine's Day, then you got St. Patrick's Day. You got all this stuff. Every month they got something for you to go and spend your money on and blind you to take away from knowing who your people are. They don't want you to know that you are great, because once you know that, then you might never sell another drug. Right. You might never harm another brother. You might actually link up with brothers, and like Zephaniah 2:1 says, to gather ourselves together. Right. You know how they always say, together we stand, divided we fall, or a hand ain't nothing without the fist. When you put all this together and we all are one, then we can be stronger. You got it, brother.
No, so
and if I'm going too long or get too long with it, you let me know.
I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I mean, this is a podcast, and pretty much I be trying to get people to engage in what's going on around them as well. And there's other cultures out here too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I mean, I can't say who's right and wrong at this point. You know,
Yeah, of course.
if you speaking the truth, that you say is the truth, then I have no choice but to believe the truth. You know what I'm saying?
But you also don't have to believe that it's the truth.
Right.
We give you opportunities that you could come and see.
Right.
Because it says that you will know them by their fruits, right?
Right.
You will know who they are by their fruits. And our fruits here in the Israelite School of UPK is we go and we feed the homeless. We get people off of drugs. We get people to put down the guns. We get people to put down the culture that was given to us that has destroyed us for years.
Right.
You know, so you can actually come and see, but all you got to do is just show up.
Right.
You just come to class, come to camp, come to the food. Tamakia is excellent with clothes and food drive. This is a hardworking brother right here.
Right. I believe
you know, when if ain't nobody gonna be there, he gonna be there.
Yeah, that's fact.
And he works hard.
That man works. Yeah,
you know, so like you don't have to believe it.
Yeah.
Because this is something that's tangible.
Right.
See, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, it's something that is tangible because this is what God gave to us. So we can see it. We can see the kingdom being built. You know, most Christians are waiting for Christ to come back.
Right.
We're building a kingdom for Christ in here. You got it, brother.
I appreciate that, though. So most times, you know, I guess you pretty much answered most of my questions. You know, that's pretty good. You know,
yeah.
I mean, at this point, you know, I just like to hear more unless more questions do come in mind.
Okay, well, while them questions coming in mind, let's get Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
28:1. Let's.
Oh, quick.
Yeah,
so at one point, I remember I heard you say. So was it one race at one point?
No. You just saying no. It says that God made male and female. He created them. He them. Like so. Yeah, go ahead. Because there's nations that are older than us. Right. We became a nation. Some nations became nations. Just like, all right. So the Asians, right? How the Asians became about is because Lot's daughters, when he was drunk and Sodom and Gomorrah was being destroyed, they thought that the world was in him, so they went and had their fathers sleep with them, and that became a nation, and this becomes a nation. So it wasn't just no one nation, because the whole thing with you get Genesis 6. No, we gotta get for him.
I was gonna get those day 1, day 2, day 3.
No. We're not gonna get that. We're gonna get the there was giants on the earth, so we could let him know there wasn't the.
Oh, okay, that's what we want.
Yeah, because I want to show him.
Yeah, they would call Nephilim, right?
That's what. Yeah, but when you look, I wish we had that. Yeah, but if
different nations.
I'll get that to you later. But there's in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it breaks down what that is. I'm gonna break it down though. Do you got it? You know what that is? Genesis 6, I believe.
Nah, but can I give him another example?
Go ahead.
All right. So, are you familiar with David and Goliath?
Mm-hmm.
So, Goliath could be considered a giant,
right?
But he was like a Yao Ming to a what's his name? The little short cat that could dunk, Spud Webb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see the height difference?
All right.
Spud Webb is like an average human being, and you got Goliath as a tall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just different nations. So Nephilim came from the Hamites and stuff like that.
Yeah, Genesis 6 and 4. That's where we're going.
Okay, but all right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of man, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were old, men of renown.
So they tell you that these were giants. These were angels that came and slept with women, right? Right. But what people don't understand. Well, people do understand. They know that there isn't no that an angel don't have a rod. Angel's not coming down and putting his rod in anything, right? These giants on the earth that was made is when we start. Y'all see.
We got Officer 1,000.
Yeah, I'll see him. You coming in?
Nah, he asked us to abide by the law and show him the breakdown of like how we gonna I got a hole right here. He asked him if the brother could take his hat off.
Oh, okay. While we read the scriptures, yeah,
Oh,
people
yeah.
take the hat off.
Oh yeah.
You got a hole on top of this one?
Nah.
Here,
Yeah.
I got a hole on top of that one, so take that one off and put that on.
Yeah, hey, give us some help in that hand, man. Water.
Yeah, I'm right.
You know what I'm saying? We out here fishing, sir. So you want to make the brother comfortable. But
Yeah.
on top of that, we don't want to break the law either, though.
That's right. That's definitely right. All right, so it says that there was giants in the earth, and they make you believe that these giants was just some big men.
Yeah.
But what happens when somebody gets when somebody has a lot of money? We call them a tycoon, right?
Mhm.
We call them a giant. Well, he's doing it big. See, this is the things that we don't understand because of Christianity, right? Was there any more on that?
Nah, that's it.
All right, I'm gonna get some precepts on that real quick.
I think-
Oh no, hold on. I'm not even gonna do that. But it says that only 8 souls were saved by water, right? So these Nephilims, if they still around, and the Anunnaki, then that makes the Bible alive then. Because it said 8 souls were saved.
Right.
So if only 8 souls were saved, where are all these Anunnaki? Where's Planet Riz? Our universe ain't spun around enough
Right.
to line up for Planet Riz and Planet X. You see, these is just all Most High in Christ. This is just all, a bunch of dogma that's out there. Like you have Christian dogma, you have that Egyptian dogma, you have all these dogmas out there that aren't teaching us anything but lies. We believe they built the pyramids. When they did the archaeology on Egypt, right? They said our bones didn't fit the bones of the Egyptians, but it fit the bones of those who held servitude to them. That's who was building pyramids, those glorified tombs.
Right.
There wasn't no Anunnaki and all these giants, and
Right.
you see them holding the lion and the Samaritan tablets and all
Right.
that.
It wasn't nothing.
Yeah, it's not none of that. There's tall people all over. You want to see some giants? You want to see some Sasquatches? Go to Yugoslavia and take a razor away. You know how many 8, 9 foot hairy beasts you're gonna see out there?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it's talking about giants and all that, it's not talking about no Nephilim or anything like that.
Question, right?
Uh-huh.
So what about I had it in my thought, but man, it'll get to me. Cause it was in my thought, man. It'll get to me, but
All right, no sweat. When it comes to you, we'll come right back to it.
Let me add some more fuel to the fire. You like NFL?
It's all right.
All right, consider this. New York Giants.
Right.
You feel
I
me?
got a lot of that.
It's all titles that people feel that they are entitled to because of they get a lot of money, or they got Peyton Manning's brother. What's his name? Eli Manning. Now Eli Manning became a giant. It's just the titles that people feel they're entitled to, but outside of that, they hide the faces of the judges thereof. And they feel like they're more entitled to the Bible than we are, but the Bible is our history. And the Bible always spoke against these other nations like the Nephilim, the Anak, the Enochs. There was 2 different Enochs. A lot of people don't know that. There's more than one Jesus in the Bible, more than one Adam, there's more than one John in the Bible. So we just gotta stop giving these other nations credit for when it's due to the Most High, because all the credit is due to the Most High, and all the credit was given to the children with the covenant, and no other nation is a part of that covenant. And that's something as a nation we got to stop doing, because religion has made it okay for a so-called oppressor to come in to the cookout with a do-rag on, sagging his pants, waving his finger, saying the N-word. Like, there's never been a part of our culture to allow other nations to come to the Passover. I'm not sure you're familiar with what the Passover is.
Passover, not really, but we're dealing with Jesus, right?
Well, you could say it was dealing with him, because the Last Supper was actually the Passover. And before the Last Supper, he was celebrating the Passover way before.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why we celebrate the Passover. And give me is it Jeremiah 16 or is it Isaiah? I think it's Jeremiah 16 and 14. All right. So the Passover. The reason we celebrate the Passover is because in Egypt, when the firstborn of every male was going to be taken, we wanted something to secure us. Because we feared the Lord. The Egyptians did it, right? So we wanted that to pass over. So we had to slay an unblemished lamb, right? And spread the blood over the door sill so that angel of death that's coming through would pass over our sons. Right. And since we got to get up out of Egypt, that was a miraculous thing. Right. Just like when we come up out of America, it's going to be a miraculous thing. It's going to be a great event. Is it 14?
And then if I can add too, like another entitlement that society has on Passover today, they renamed it Easter. When in the hell can a bunny rabbit lay an egg?
Yeah, I need 14.
I never witnessed none of that.
You feel me?
Right. That never makes sense to me neither.
It's the okie doke because we don't got the lack of.
So what? I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. Before you ask the next point, I want to make sure you hear this because you said the Passover, but I want to show you what's going to happen so you will know. Just read that 14 real quick.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
So there's going to come a time that we ain't going to talk about that no more. We're not going to talk about how we were saved out of Egypt under Pharaoh in his reign, in his torment, in his oppression. Continue.
My bad. I'm trying to change this color. Verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From where?
From the land of the north.
From where?
The land of the north.
Where you at, brother? Where a lot of us at right now?
What? South America. North?
Yeah,
North, right?
Yeah, what north are we in right now?
North America.
We in North America right now.
Okay,
but we ain't just in North America.
So look, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let them finish it out real quick. Salakia.
Brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
You see, this still has to happen.
All right.
This has to happen. I just wanted you to see that. So, we are in all four corners of the earth.
Right. So the land, speaking of the lands, right? So they saying that, pyramid, how did the pyramids bound to be among us? Like, who built the pyramids then, and come to find out, pyramids just went on in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Apparently we have pyramids here in America. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
where else we have them? In Mexico.
Apparently, but those pyramids is built different than the pyramid here. So, and the ones here is different than
but they still a pyramid and still basically the same kind of structure, right? That's because the same people who built those pyramids over there, when they came over here, when it said go to a place where no man dwelleth after the Assyrian captivity, we came over here and we did that here too. We built pyramids here too. That's why you see those big heads under there too. Like under the ground they had them the big heads in them statues. Because they just keep building on top of everything.
And they said it was bodies connected with them heads.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's the thing. You see, that's how much stuff was happening. But everything, that's why they always have to dig and they find whole civilizations because all they keep doing is building on top of everything. Right. But when you dig deep, you find a whole other civilizations.
Right.
But the reason you see that everywhere is because we have been everywhere.
Right. So by the pyramids being built, right? Is that from the different tribes?
What do you mean the different tribes?
Like, since you explained it to me earlier that it's like 12 tribes.
Yeah.
Right? So each pyramid that was found throughout this earth, is it from different tribes?
I don't want to say different tribes. What I'll say is since we had these different captivities, like the Northern Kingdom went into the Assyrian captivity. After that Assyrian captivity, a lot of the Northern Kingdom, they came over here. And that's how they got over here. They like to tell you they came through the Bering Strait, but that's just not accurate, right? So them just being over here, retaining and knowing, and just knowing and just having knowledge. Like we had knowledge. They like to make it seem like everybody in the Bible was dumb, but they wasn't. They had knowledge and they decided to build things. Just like today, if they decide to build a structure, you know, the pyramids isn't something so special that they try to make it be. You know, in Egypt, it was glorified tombs. Out here, it might have been to roll your head down a damn stairway after they chopped it off and sacrificed it to whatever, you know, because we lost our way. That's the whole thing that matters. Out of all this thing, out of all these places that we have been, we still have lost our way. Because you know, Christopher Columbus, he has memoirs, and he said when he came over here, they spoke Hebrew. So those natives he was talking to, they were speaking the Hebrew. What are they speaking Hebrew way over here for? That's because that is those people. Some of the things they remember, but then they start going off. They start building totem poles and chopping your head. You seen Apocalypto, right? Chopping your head off, rolling it down the stair, sacrificing it to gods for rain and harvest and all those things. Like we lose our way today. We chop our heads off and roll them down the hill today because we sacrifice ourselves for the harvest of Christianity, right? For the harvest of Islam, for the harvest of Egyptology.
That's crazy.
We still do that because we're not living by the customs of our forefathers. We're not utilizing what was given to us. These laws, statutes, and commandments, that puts the hedge around us, right? And that's what we need. We need a hedge around us because if not, we out of there. The Bible says, it said that they send the people into our land, right? And they say if they serving their God, leave them alone. But if they're not serving their God, that's your chance to attack. That's why we have to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why we have to live by a moral code. Just like in the streets, you live by the G code, right? Well, right here, you got to live by the real G code, God's code. You got it, brother.
If I could add to it, right? I'm going to paraphrase something, see if you remember this. Like the scripture always said, there's a way of going abroad, or there's a way of the straight and narrow. If we go abroad, then we introduce, you know, different cultures like Kemet, you know, Catholicism, being a Muslim, being a Buddhist, and none of that was ever for us.
That's right.
Every other nation has a God that looks like them, besides the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And we can find that right here in the Bible, our history. And we can find the do's, the don'ts, the goods, the bads. But if we don't study it, we're going to be studying somebody else's history and culture outside of what the Bible taught us how to separate from them. And that's what we teach in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, to pick back up your identity, pick back up your strength and your will to fight for what's right and to being righteous and having rulership on the earth, because when Christ comes back, he's coming to get his family back. And every other nation outside of being the Israelites are heathens. So if you're an Israelite living like a heathen, then you consider the Gentile. And that history gets passed down, being a Gentile instead of the truth. So we just giving the truth back to the earth, man, the commander Johanna.
And that's what he said about that narrow path, because just think about that. Just about if you walk in this, let's just say this is the sidewalk, right? That's why they make sidewalks, right? So you don't step out into traffic and get hit by a truck. Well, that's how it is. You don't want to step off of that narrow path, because you step over there, that might be death. You know, you stepping this way, now you catch a cancer because you eating the wrong foods. You living the wrong way, right? You over here, you get shot because you had to go make this deal, right? These are the things that happen to us because we don't stay on a narrow path. We like the broad path. We want to wander. And that's the problem. That's why we have to get back to a real culture, to a standard. You see, we used to be a dignified people. You remember right after slavery and we coming out of there, it's dignified. We want to be dignified people. that somewhere we lost our dignity, and there's no more shame. We have to give shame back to our people.
Yeah.
There's no shame. Our women are out here doing whatever they want, and and they don't have no shame.
Right.
Like back in the day, a woman, she wasn't like, even if a woman was a whore, she would try to hide that.
Right.
Now today, you don't even get no praise unless you are.
Right.
That's because we're on that broad path. We're on that broad path for that money. We're on that broad path for fame. We're on that broad path for likes.
I was going to ask you, that was going to be my question, how you feel from the time then that changed by you being and by the culture being around. How do you feel the time to change from then to now?
All right, it changes in periods,
right?
But there is nothing new under the sun.
Right.
That's why in the Bible it talks about whoremongers. You know what a monger is? A monger is somebody that sells something. So if you're a whoremonger, that means you were a pimp and you had prostitutes. That's all the way back in the Bible. Yeah. So it's not that it changes. It's that, you know, sometimes you try to hide stuff, but right now there's just such an implosion in the earth that that wrong is good. Back in the day, sometimes you try to hide your wrong, you know, but it goes in times, you know, sometimes because there's nothing new under the sun. So sometimes that's a shameful thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not.
So how about the culture? How y'all feel about the universe? About the universe being the way it is now? Them discovering new land, and they saying that there's a possibility of new life or whatnot. How do y'all feel about that?
You said, all right. They're always going to discover new life because the ocean is vast. Mm-hmm. You can go take a submarine down, discover a fish, and name it whatever you want.
Right.
That happens. All right. So with the universe and them discovering, let them discover everything. But you know what we need to discover? We need to discover how to get off drugs. Mm-hmm. That's what we need to discover. Because we always looking out and you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson always saying, remember to look up. No. But we need to look into our records. We need to look into exactly what we need to do. Because all these findings, all this other stuff, it really don't matter. Yeah. Because it's not helping you find God. Go ahead.
What's this? You will know what's so new. You got being a Moor is new, right? You got being a Muslim is new. And let's go a little bit further in the modern day. You got the LGBTQ, right? The alternative lifestyle. They're always going to come up with a new culture to distract the Israelites from being their nationality as one, as a culture. The Bible is all about separation, right? Let's break down holy. Let's break down Bible. It's our set of.
For those who don't know what Bible stands for, basic instruction before leaving earth, right?
That's something that was adapted into the truth behind what it actually meant.
Right.
Bible just means it's a set of books, which are a set of records. So it's history. Mm-hmm. Holy means you're separate, you're set apart. Right. So it's our set apart records and history away from everybody else.
Right.
So anything that comes new is a distraction from you having your strength and your dignity and your integrity and your identity at the most.
Okay, hold on. So don't confuse me. You saying
there's a lot.
The Bible is basically a distraction.
No, I'm saying everything outside that comes new is a distraction.
So anything that beyond, besides the Bible, is a distraction.
Right.
Much, right.
If you an Israelite.
Right.
Yeah. Highlight that. Hold on, Slack, 1 second.
I wanna
highlight that. Highlight that and get Acts 5:35. Yes.
And can I say something before you do that?
Go ahead.
They want to say Israel united in Christ. Mm-hmm. You can't be in Christ if you're doing the wrong thing. That's why they didn't say under Christ. Because they know if they come in under Christ, there's going to be a law, statute, and commandment that got to be fulfilled.
But was it told that it happened at one point?
What?
There was a tablet, or not a tablet, but a commandment that came from.
There have always been records since Adam.
Yeah. All right. So first it started with oral traditions. Right.
With God.
And then we moved to write down stuff.
Right.
you know, and so on and so forth. But hold on, I needed something for this. This brother wants to say that IUIC teaches the real truth. But I want to show this brother that it matters who you follow.
Where we at?
Acts 5:35.
All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 30. It's like just a letter of Acts, chapter 5, verse 35. Hey, Officer Zakari, you online?
Come, sir.
Shout out to that brother. Hey, can you pull this Acts 5 and 35?
Come, sir.
All right, Most High Christ. The water.
They're gonna be able to hear him good on here too.
Yeah.
Sorry, bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, no sweat. I ain't want to know. I seen you was in the building, so.
Yeah, for those who's on my line, y'all bear with me though. You know, like I say, it's interesting to hear about the culture and where you came from and who to believe, you know, what to believe in, you know, because there's a lot of religions out here and people kind of, you know what I'm saying, be skeptical about, you know what I'm saying,
It's understandable.
who they want to believe in. And like I say, I don't want to call myself as a Christian since I know it was so much beyond being a Christian, and so I call myself a spiritualist. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's so many religions out there. You know, it's like I can learn so much and understand. It's like all I know is a higher power. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to anybody just really break down the truth of, you know, who is God and what was our purpose and the main purpose and what we was here for and why.
Yeah.
You know,
our purpose was to be chosen by God and rule the earth and have everybody under us and everything would be perfect, because that's why it says when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, right? But when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. When we beareth rule, people are going to be way better off. You see, half of America's retired military lives under a bridge. You see those things. But hold on, let me take care of this cat real quick. Go ahead, Zakaria.
Khan. This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 35. And said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men.
Go ahead.
Verse 36, for before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain.
You see, hold on. You see, that's what happened. That's what happened when you're saying that IUIC teaches the real truth. How do they teach the real truth? Because they are a break-off, right? And it all started at ISUPK. And they took away the Dawada. They took away the Shield of David. But you know what they kept from ISUPK? Why they keep the 12 tribe chart? If they teach the truth, why are they using our chart? Why ain't our 12 tribe chart alive in? Why are they using it? Why are they trying to use partial of our breakdowns? If they're teaching the truth, why are they trying to take what we have as truth from us? Hold on 1 second. Continue going. No, hold on. I got to get him.
They going abroad.
Yeah, they going abroad. Continue.
Khan.
You know, and they join themselves to men. You think y'all got numbers and you love that purple. The purple is so pretty to you. You know, it said him to wear that purple, that gay clothing. Continue reading.
Khan. And all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught.
That's what's going to be happening. Him and everybody who follows him, you will be brought to naught. Have you seen the history that's just been going on since 2015? Look how many of them have fell off and fell out. You think because you're standing that you're doing something? You get the power. You can get boosted up. You can get all that rank just for the Lord to bring you down. Continue reading.
Verse 37. After this man rose up in Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing and drew away much people after him. He also perished. And all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
You see, that happened to them because they left the truth and wanted to start their own. They wanted to be the leader. They wanted to boast in themselves. Continue reading.
Verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men
Do
and let
what?
them alone.
No,
Refrain
do
from
what?
these
No,
refrain from
join their
these men.
organization.
Refrain from these men.
No, they're teaching the truth.
Refrain from these men.
Damon Merritt, you better refrain from them men. You better get with these men that ain't popular. Christ wasn't popular.
Right.
Nate is very popular. He's popular with all the women because you believe that you're going to be the one wife. Sisters, you believe you're going to go in that organization and believe the one wife, not knowing that they believe in divorce. You won't be the one wife. You'll be the one wife that was divorced. Okay? So you better refrain from them. You can finish out that scripture, Zachariah.
Khan. Refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
That's what they are. They're about the work of men.
So
They're about being zesty. They're about pushing their agenda.
Let me break it down.
And that comes to naught.
For those who watch.
The water, Zachariah.
It says that an entitlement mentality is a mind state where an individual believes they deserve special treatment, privileges, or advantages without necessarily having earned them or demonstrating the necessary qualification. That sounds like a gold digger to me.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And they didn't earn nothing.
Sound like a gold digger. They ain't got nothing. A broke gold digger. That's what it sounds like.
In the ISUPK, we teach classes Monday through Monday. Right. Classes is absolutely free.
Females that who mooches and roach off of people and take things. And they go from dudes too as well, you know?
Hey, Zachariah, Nehemiah 8:1.
That's what it stated. For gold diggers.
Because I'm gonna show you another thing. Because you asked, how do we know that we're the truth and that Christianity isn't? Because we live according to the Bible. We do what the Bible says to do. We did what our forefathers said. Zachariah, if you got that, Baba Koshab.
Khan. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people gathered themselves.
This is why we go to camp, like when we're out there on the street.
Yeah. Because
of the Bible. He's going to read this real quick, and then I'll give you back the floor, brother.
Okay.
Go ahead, Zachariah.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 1. Mm-hmm. And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate.
Yep.
And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel.
You see, it said all the people gathered themselves to the street. We gather as one man. That's what we were out there. We are one out there. Right? We were one out there in the street, in the front of the water gate where everybody could see us, right? And we bring out that book of the law. They like to say the Bible ain't even in the Bible. Didn't it just say we bringing out the book of the law? That's what the Bible is. The book of the law. Continue reading.
Verse 2. And Ezra. Verse 2. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both the men and women.
Yep.
And all that can hear with understanding upon the first day of the 7th month.
Yep.
Verse 3. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday.
See, from the morning until midday. Y'all out there yelling all day. Y'all out there yelling all day on the street corner. Well, so was our forefather. Why ain't your Christian pastor out there yelling? Why is he so comfortable in the AC while we're out there in all weather? UPK is all weather.
Right.
We out there. Feel me? Continue reading.
Before the men and the women and those that could understand, and the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law.
Yep. Read verse 4.
Verse 4.
This is all we're going to read to is verse 4, just to break this down for him.
And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood.
He stood up on what?
A pulpit of wood.
He stood up on a pulpit of wood. That's what we do. We go out there and we stand on a pulpit of wood. You believe that pulpit of wood is what your pastor's preaching on. That little stand that he got his 2 scriptures and 18 offering plates by it. You think that's the pulpit?
So I'm sorry.
You got a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Somebody said, well, people go by men wrote laws.
They said do what?
He said people go by men wrote laws.
People go by men wrote law. What does he mean? What law is he talking about?
What did you mean? Elaborate more.
Yeah, elaborate. Are you talking about what law are you talking about? You talking about God's laws? Or are you talking about America's laws? Or are you talking about India's laws? You talking about Africa's laws? Men wrote everything. Everything that you ever put your eyes on, somebody wrote it.
Right.
See, but what the men of the Bible wrote was inspired by God.
Right. So is there a right Bible, the correct Bible?
The King James. All right. So when you look at the Hebrew, all right. So you know they have ancient texts.
Right.
You know these books go back. You know we got the Masoretic text. You know we have the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? So when you read in this, then you can see what Bible is going to correlate the most with the Hebrew. Yeah. So the King James is just the best translation we have that correlates with the actual Hebrew. That's why the King James is important.
And so check if they ever seen that book.
I see that.
It's called the Apocrypha, right? The Apocrypha went.
Hold on. He said, don't nobody go by the laws of the Bible.
Yeah, because Christianity told you, if you was in here earlier, you would have seen that Christianity told you that the laws are done away with. But 1 John 3 and 4, it tells you that sin is a transgression of the law. So if do you believe in sin? That's what I should ask him. Because you can't believe in sin and not believe in the law, because sin is only a transgression of the law. But people do go by the laws of the Bible because the laws of the Bible are simple. It says that the laws are not grievous. They're not hard. You just got to not eat pork, not sleep with whores. You know, it's very simple. Yeah. It's very simple. You just got to have some honor and dignity. You can go ahead, brother.
But I didn't want to cut you short, though. But I know I want to ask a couple more questions.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I'm gonna tune out on my cast here.
Okay.
So one, who is y'all? So who is the favorite? Who is one of y'all favorite characters in the Bible that y'all feel that?
I like. I really probably shouldn't say the people I like, but I like Alicia.
Yeah.
You know. Alicia when no, I don't want to say that. I like Nehemiah. I'm just gonna say the names. I ain't gonna tell the reasons I like them. Yeah. King David, Christ. We like all of them because they're our forefathers. Right. You know what I mean?
But who was one of out of, let's just say,
you gotta give us five. 3. You got to give us at least 3.
I can give you 3.
Wait.
Okay, top 3 out of 5.
Wait.
Top 3 of your best favorite characters.
Let me explain
not characters or prophets.
Prophet. Okay. Prophet that you can say that you benefit the most off of that got you where you are.
Let me explain why, though. It can't just be one. Because the spirit of the prophets are always subject to the prophets. And in the Bible, the Most High only dealt with one leader to deal with the nation.
Yeah.
So that one leader in them different timelines reigned for the Israelites and the sons of God to prevail over captivity, to prevail over other cultures.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let him go.
But on that question, I'm just gonna say, I like Nehemiah. That's probably my Nehemiah. That's my one.
What made you feel?
You know, because he was strong and he wasn't about the games. Mm-hmm. You know, they came over there to lodge and sell in our land on the Sabbath day, the heathen. Right. You know, and he said, if you come here again, I'm gonna lay hands on you.
Right.
You know, I like that kind of spirit. You know, I like King David. I like the warrior spirits.
Right.
That's what I like. David. I like that following the Bible. That you don't have to be a bitch.
Right.
That's it right there.
You don't have to not have courage. Right. You don't not have to have, you can keep your cojones and follow this Bible. So that's I like a lot of the rough ones.
The rough ones.
You know?
Yeah.
Now let me get my time.
Yeah, right. You get your time.
So
I know you've been waiting.
The thing about it is, like, if you picking one, you picking all of them because they all on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
They all in the one body.
Yep.
and they all got the spirit of the Most High.
That's right.
And they're not entitled to their own selfishness. So my first one to be Christ because he stood on business.
That's right.
My second one will be Daniel because he didn't give a damn what type of oppression and captivity he went through.
Yep.
He stood on business. He went through the lions of the den.
Yeah, he did.
He went through the furnace.
Yeah, he did.
And my last one is was
I
it
like a lot of them, but I'm just
was it Elijah when he killed all the false prophets?
yes. That's
Elijah.
450 prophets of Baal.
Elijah stood on business with his own people that took up on false idol.
Right.
And that's another good one. Hold on. That's another good one for IUIC teaches the truth.
Yeah.
Those are the 450 prophets of Baal over there.
You feel me?
Right? And
Yeah,
Elijah
yeah,
came and had
three.
the Most High do his thing.
No.
They slaughtered.
You know the story?
What, about Elijah?
Yeah.
A little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So give us your top three.
No doubt.
Give us your top three.
I
man.
mean, one of them is Christ. One of them is Jesus because he did stand on business.
Yeah, that's automatic.
That's
Yeah.
automatic.
You ain't gotta say.
But next to it, Job.
Yeah.
Job is a mother.
Job,
Perfect.
because
Yeah, right.
Job.
I'm Job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe. I feel Joe because we all don't fell off at one point, and just by not losing the faith, but just knowing that
Keep working.
he still believed that all them people done
Yeah.
tried to come against him.
Yes.
He still believed in God,
And he
you know
didn't
what I'm
do
saying?
nothing wrong
He did, and exactly.
to
And what-
even make that happen.
and what's so crazy about the story was, to me, it was just a game to God and the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. All right. And
Christ
it's
went
not
through
that it
the
was
same
a
shit.
it's
Right,
not that
you
it
know
was a
what I'm saying?
game. It was a test.
a test, right?
For Job, because and that story is another heavy point about that story is that
Mm.
Christians say that Satan was kicked out of heaven. So
Mm.
how did he go to a
To the
council in heaven?
Right. You feel me? Like it makes sense.
You
See,
see?
that's why that's why I keep my head in the books, man. I keep like I said, I'm a spiritualist. I like to, still read the Bible and I do, pray, and I like and I still, as I'm telling y'all speaking right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know everything about the Bible, and I
Of
would like
course.
to know a lot more about it.
I don't know
But-
everything about it,
It could be a
Boy.
part two.
but
Yeah,
but
you
you
can, you
definitely
can.
can get the answers. That's the
Yeah.
one thing about us. If I don't know the answer, I can go get the answer. You see how we just asked? What's that
Earlier.
called?
The
Oh, a
censor.
censor.
Yeah.
I could call that man for anything, and if he don't got it, he could call somebody above
Yeah.
him, and that's how it goes up.
And
Because we are a family. Just like if you don't know
Yeah.
nothing, you're supposed to be able to call your daddy. Hey, daddy, how we change brakes? How we change tires? You're supposed to be able to go up and get the answer from men above you. And that's the structure that we have. And that's why this is the home of the truth, because you get the real answers, you get the real instruction.
And-
Slack for cutting you off.
no, you good. And this might hurt. And this is a deep one right here. And I feel like my third one is Samson.
Yeah. Ooh,
I wanted to put Samson, but I couldn't put him over Christ.
I mean, he's third. You know what I'm saying?
So who you at? You
I'm
got
about
Christ,
Christ
Job, and
and
Samson.
Samson.
That's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's heavy. Those some good
Samson.
good major figures in the
And
Bible.
and the reason why I
Good
say
lessons.
Samson because I feel like I don't lost my strength losing not knowing God good. At first, at one point, I knew who God was, and I lost it. My strength came from being around people that was very spiritual minded.
Yeah.
That's why I'm into the entertainment business. I'm very sociable in certain areas, and being around spiritual people, feeling vibes, good people. That's what really got me knowing more about God.
That's heavy that you said Samson, because remember he did lose his strength, right? But you being here today with us, you know what you asking?
Right.
You asking God to strengthen you one more time.
You feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't tore down a building. You know what I'm saying? With myself in it. That's why I feel like Samson, because I can knock down a building and destroy everybody, including myself.
Yeah.
If I have to.
With the strength.
And love. You know what I'm saying? If I have to. And so far, God haven't did that with my life.
Yeah.
But he done did me that way in the spiritual sense, because from what I've been through into now, my brother can know what I call him my cousin, but he knows, this nigga knows, like, from what we done been through, you know what I'm saying, loyalty, and down to now to this point where where he at now, and to me doing this podcast,
Yeah.
this is a big step for the both of us, especially for me being incarcerated, you know, in and out of jail. You know, I tell people all the time, like, I found Christ before I even started going to jail. You know, it just, he left my heart at one point, and now just me knowing who I am, I'm finding him, but I'm still sinning. You know, I'm going to jail.
But just come to class. That's all. Like when you come to class and you get to ask your questions and you get to hear certain things. Like, we got powerful teachers in here that'll just say something and it'll just make perfect sense.
Right.
And then you could take that and you could carry it on. Right. But the most important thing is to come. Like, the most important thing you did today is like for us is just showing up.
Right.
Just showing up. Even if you didn't want to interact and you just showed up, like, that is important because the demon's going to try to keep you away. You see how it was like 20 minutes, then another 20, then another. That demon did not want you walking through these doors.
And I know, and I told, like I said, and it was like not a last minute deal, but it was kind of was, because it was like, we're going to do it on a Wednesday. And he pushed the date up. And I'm like, okay, now I got to do this on this day. You know, sooner know the type of deal. I could have had something else going on. But this is my homie, and I really love what he got going on. So by me supporting what he's doing and him supporting me, you know, bro.
That's
heavy. Get on here and talk.
That's brotherhood. That's why you came today, because this is the Tuesday brotherhood class. What you just talked about is brotherhood.
Right.
Y'all showing each other love. Y'all coming together, you know what I mean? Because this is brotherhood. Right. Y'all been knowing each other from 20 years. See, over
like
20 years.
I ain't come here trying to get people to convert or anything, but let people to understand about, you know, other cultures besides the culture that you are in at right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, expand your mind.
And you can type into your chat too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Too, right?
Okay.
The main purpose about if you actually want to serve God doesn't come from emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you taking a step further and showing your actions of you actually want to be transformed by the renewing of your mind and being reborn into the right spirit.
Right.
Because when Christ taught, he always taught to be in the right spirit behind things. So what we learning in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, is staying in the right spirit, being in the right spirit, and always being with only one spirit. Because if you add multiple spirits into your teachings, that'll corrupt your mind and you'll be forever tainted and entangled and, you know, just destroyed.
Yeah, like the scripture said. What he's saying, because the scriptures say, like, you're forever learning but never coming into knowledge.
Right.
We can go out there, we can learn every book and not have the knowledge. We have every book, we can have all the answers and not know how to get off of drugs.
Right.
Not know how to stop serving false idols. We will not know things, but
look,
you come in here, you
I don't want to cut y'all out.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Let me close out on mine.
Yeah, go ahead, close out on yours.
In on yours some more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to interrupt y'all, whatever.
No, you good, brother.
That's a collab.
Brother.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I appreciate y'all. You know, appreciate you into my podcast, man. That's right. And speaking y'all knowledge about.
We're gonna follow you too.
I hope so.
Yeah. Give us the link. We'll put the link in our chat. We'll have all our brothers follow.
Okay, I appreciate that, man, because I might be based on about music and other podcasts.
Yeah, which is fine. We like other stuff too. Yeah. You know, that's the good thing about the Bible is, you know, we could go talk about music. We could talk about whatever.
We can play a jam or as a close off on your podcast if you want.
No, let me just close out real quick.
Go ahead.
But now, you know what I'm saying, as you see, you know, I got my brothers here with me, you feel me? And I appreciate them for stepping in and tuning in with your boy, Mr. Flex. So until next time, you feel me? I'll catch y'all again. This your boy, Mr. Dr. Reverend and Professor Flexington, and I'm in your building. And thank y'all for tuning in Flexington Podcast. And I hope y'all learned a lot today. And I'm out, man. Real.
Hey, even on our side, we're gonna get that brother a hand.
Yeah, get that brother a hand, everybody, man. Just for even coming in here, even willing to come and see, because this is something that's hard to find. You know, this isn't just easy to find, easy to walk up on. When I found it, it wasn't just easy. I couldn't just go and see somebody on the street teaching this. I had to find this. And then, be with the brothers that are creating and building it up and building zones. That's all it is. It's about getting with other brothers, building up these zones, building up our people and building up our nation. And that's what we want to do, because we want our people to be able to rise above these conditions that we are in.
Right.
But it's hard because we have an enemy who has a perpetual hatred against us. And that perpetual hatred is always doing stuff to steer us. Like they do it on every level. They're going to do it mentally, physically, spiritually. They do it with the food, right? They do it with the visuals. They do it with what we think should be cool, right?
Right.
And that is the problem with our community right now, is that we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and that's what we are out here doing. We're trying to bring back the knowledge of God,
Right.
Not religion, not Christianity, not Shamar Wan's talk, not the Machias talk, but what the Bible says. And we want to bring Christ, because Christ is the king.
Right.
Christ is the king. He coming with the 200 million angels, right, to do damage on the earth.
I understand y'all got levels to this, right? It's levels to this. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like, I don't want to say.
No, you good, brother. Yeah, that is rank. We got rank and order.
Right.
Yes.
So how y'all rank or order go by?
Okay. All right. So it goes like this. Like, so you come in, you do your 90 days. You're a young man. You're shedding yourself for the world. Then when you're ready, you get your Hebrew name. You become a trooper, right?
All black.
Then after, wearing all black. Then after being a trooper, then you could take an officer's test. You pass your officer's test, then you're officer of 50. Then you could get raised up to 500,000, 5,000. Those are officers. Then it's captain of 10,000 and 13,000. Then it gets up to the generals. Then it goes all the way up to 13 shield general. And really it could be a high priest, but Commander General Yohana didn't make himself. He didn't raise himself up to a high priest.
Right.
Even though he could. You know what I mean? But that's just the rank and order. It's the same ranks that are in the Bible. Like when Christ fed the 5,000, it said he set them down by rank and companies. You know what I mean? It says in the Bible, officers of this, captains of this. So it's a structure because we are the host. When we came out of Egypt, we came out a host, right? And host means army. That's what Exodus 12 and 51, I believe. I believe that's where it's at. But yeah. So we are the army of the Lord. And that's what it is. That's why we have rank and order. And that's what we are structured off of.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why you see plaques like that. Like I got one of those too. Like going through Hebrew Academy, becoming a man of war. The army, they have their little boot camps and their little stuff.
Right.
Well, the Lord gave us our own to train us mentally, physically, spiritually, so we could go out here and we can deal with all the situations that life is going to bring.
Right.
Because that's what the Bible is really teaching. That's what your culture, that's what our nation, that's what we're really doing. Like the Mike said, we're teaching culture.
Right.
And that's the most important thing, is because we don't have a culture, so we adapt the culture. Remember in the 70s, we all wanted to be karate men. Like we dressed like the Asians, we had to wear their clothes, Right. All through these times, we always adapted and try to be like everybody else, when we have something that is so great, so great and above everything else, and we want to give that to everybody else. We want to share this Bible and give this to everybody else, when this is really, it's for us. It's for us to be able to go out there and govern the earth, to make sure everybody's good. Like in the Bible, there's a thing called gleaning, right? All this hunger in the earth could be solved with the Bible. Because when you're growing, so say you have an apple tree. All right, when you go pick it, just go get the stuff from the middle. You got to get everything from the sides, everything that fell, like things that fall over the fence. That's for people who don't have nothing. Let them come through and eat.
Right. But you get the ones in the middle.
Yeah. And you see, America teaches you to be greedy, to save none for nobody, even though you can't eat it all yourself.
Right.
Even though more than half of those are going to spoil because you can't eat it yourself. Right. But you're taught to hold on to that and to be greedy and to not give any of it up. Well, all this stuff we want to give, we need to give to our brothers, because when you love everybody, you know who you don't love? You don't love that person who looks like you. Because
Right.
when you look in the mirror, you feel ugly. You feel low because they had made us seem like we're the scum of the earth. And since we feel that way, that's why we like to try to overcome and leave our people so we can shine on them. You go get a Mercedes, where you going?
Right.
You ain't going to the white neighborhood where they got the real Mercedes.
Right.
You coming back in your little 300 because you don't want to be over there where they in the Maybach.
Right.
They're going to look at you like, is that a Honda? Yeah, so you're going to come shine on your brothers who you going to see that brother in the Honda Accord. You're going to pull up on them like, yeah, I just caught this little Mercedes. You know, my little thing, you know.
Right.
We come and shine on our brothers because we really don't have no brotherhood.
Right.
But that's what the Bible teaches. Everything hangs off of brotherhood. Because with brotherhood, we can solve all the problems of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians
Charity
across the globe. You know? And what time is that? We're going to close it out too. Hey, and with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal with Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Shalom. Nope. Cut it.
Not ready.
Clap it up.
Oh yeah.